Hey everyone, this week we are going to be doing a little bit of Statcast Data with Infield Outs Above Average. So, as you can see, the first two lines I have right here are the Savant Pitching Data CSV file, which if you haven't watched my scraping a full year Statcast data, please do. That's how you'll get that data ready to go, so that you kind of need that for this video. And then below I have the Infield Outs Above Average leaderboard, minimum 10 attempts. I have that there because right now in Bill Pettig's Baseball R package, it's not yet available, but it will be shortly, at least in the development branch of his GitHub page. So just be on the lookout for that. But right now, I just went on Baseball Savant, selected leaderboards, went to the Infield Outs Above Average leaderboards, and found the CSV file. And downloaded the CSV, and we'll just read it into our console. So, first two are, Savant and Infield. To achieve that, we'll call in our library, Tidyverse. So we have the dplyr packages ready to go, and then we'll say first base equals infield piping operator filter primary position formatted is first base, and continuing on select, and we only want player ID, and outs above average. So run this, and we can see player ID, outs above average, ready to go. And you can do the same for each of the other positions as well. I will say before I continue adding on these other positions, I went ahead and changed the code slightly. I added a mutate function to convert that player ID into fielder 4. That way it matches with the Savant data. So now instead of saying select player ID, outs above average, mutate player ID to fielder 3, which is first baseman, fielder 4, second baseman, so on and so forth, and then select that same thing in outs above average. So we'll run these, and now we have all 4 infield positions. Now we can kind of start our merge. So I'll go ahead and add in this code, and essentially I'll go through it. We'll do a merge statement. We'll select our Savant data set, and this time we'll just select the first baseman, which is fielder 3, and then Y is FB, which stands for first base, by fielder 3. We want all X variables because, the data set might have a different player, so there might be some NAs. And then mutate fielder 3 outs above average equals outs above average, select fielder 3 outs above average, and then to get those correct values, we'll do a pull statement, so that way we can pull the variable fielder 3 outs above average. So we'll run this. Now we'll do the same. So obviously SB, second base, outs above average, third base, and shortstop. So we'll run all of these. It's running, and then as we do that, I'll show you Savant. We'll add these columns. So add column, and we'll say fielder 3 OAA, and we'll say it will have it equal FB OAA, and then so on and so forth. So fielder 4 OAA, SB OAA, 5 OAA, third base, outs above average, OAA, shortstop, outs above average. Run these columns, and now we'll create kind of a sample data set. So we'll call it sample Savant. piping operator, sample n, and we'll just say the first 10 observations, or a random 10 observations. And we can see all these columns. When we go all the way to the end, we have, for that given pitch, those fielders outs above average. Let's make sure that we have these columns as numeric, because what we're going to do is see which pitches during the MLB season were there the most outs above average based on those infielders. So a quick way to see like what variable type is your columns, you can do a s-apply, and X is referring to Savant, and we'll say class, and class essentially gets that variable name. So we can see fielder 3, 4, 5, and 6 outs above average is integer. We want that as numeric. And again, we can do another apply, but this time it's an L apply. So we'll say Savant, and we'll select the last 4 columns. And how we do that is do a bracket, and then in row column, so row, comma, column, so column the last 4 columns. We'll do a list apply, and X will be, again, Savant 91 to 94, the last 4 columns, and it will be, the function will be as numeric. So we'll run this, and we'll run that s-apply again, and we can see those columns are converted to numeric. To get those columns to see what was the total outs above average for the infielders of a given pitch, I had to do something a little weird, so feel free to let me know if you found a better way. It involves replacing NAs with 0. Honestly, I don't feel too great about doing that, especially with Savant. You know, NAs are there for a reason. So I'll show you the way to do that. So we'll say Savant, again, Savant, piping operator, replace, we'll say is.NA, and then we'll just indicate period, which just indicates the Savant data frame, and we'll say 0. So we'll replace all those NAs with zeros. Now we'll do a mutate, and we'll say Infield Outs Above Average is that column name, and we'll say row sums, and again period to indicate that Savant data set, and then select the last 4 columns, which is the fielders outs above average. We'll run that, and then we'll go back to our sample data set to see exactly what I mean. So we can see all these zeros, which again, if there's a better way, please feel free to leave it in the comments. I'd be happy to learn about that. We can see our total infield outs above average for a given pitch are displayed. Now another way to do this is we can select the top observation. I can show you a quick way to achieve getting those top observations. So obviously we'll say Savant equals Savant piping operator. We'll say arrange to arrange our variables descending to select top or bottom, and then infield outs above average. And again, since it's a large data set, I tend to break it down. So we'll go back to our sample. This time we'll say head, and we'll say Savant 10. So we'll select the first 10, top 10 observations. One slight change that I will make with this video is I originally had replace is NA with 0. It's best that you do row sums, and then they have a function within row sums to remove NA. So NA.rm means remove NAs while calculating those sums. So go ahead and select NA.rm equals true. That way the NAs still appear in the infield outs above average leaderboard. Thanks for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe if you like this future if you like this more. Again, I apologize for having the video out late. You'll have a couple videos coming out this week, so hopefully I can make it up in that way. But like and subscribe if you like the content. If you don't, I understand.